Our world really needs a morale boost. Plus, I need something to lift my own spirits. Maybe you do too. And it's June Pride. I'm Thomas Roberts. This is Gay Good News. Hey everybody, it is great to have you with us on GGN for this Friday, June 19th, 2020. As many of you know, we are honoring Juneteenth today. That marks the date of June 19th, 1865, when the last of the enslaved learned that they were finally free. Now, many states already recognize this and take the day off, but we are now seeing Democratic senators work together to propose legislation that would make this a federal holiday. So we'll see where that goes in years to come. But as we talk about this date, let's just rewind really fast and talk about yesterday's date, June the 18th, because that is going to be a very special day in the history books for this young lady. Wedding bells are ringing for 34-year-old Raven Simone, the actress marrying her fiance, Miranda Madej. It was a pretty low-key ceremony happening in a backyard, but as we see the brides showing off their rings and their matching tattoos, this is definitely a way to celebrate Pride Month. But that's really great news. This is her first marriage. We've pretty much watched her grow up from Disney to the Cosby Show, or the reverse of that, Cosby Show to Disney. But we wish them nothing but the best, especially during Pride Month. What a great way to celebrate. Now, skipping ahead a couple days, Sunday, June 21st is going to be Father's Day. So we say, Happy Father's Day, Dad. Happy Father's Day to you and to my father-in-law, Dale, in Ohio. Happy Father's Day to you. We are overnighting cards right now, which is costing us an arm and a leg. But we want to say Happy Father's Day to all the gay and straight and bisexual dads out there. And, you know, it's not the only way that some of us get to be parents. There are unique relationships that can develop between people, especially when you're part of big brothers, big sisters. And we found a really inspiring story that we wanted to share with you, and we hope that you find it as touching as we do. I am really proud to welcome our next two guests, Gary McKenna and Ty J. They're joining me from two different places right now, one in New York, the other in Los Angeles. But these two have an unbreakable bond because of big brothers, big sisters out of New York City. Ty J, let me just start with you. When you were going to be introduced to Big Brothers, Big Sisters in the organization, did you have any expectation of what was going to happen, that you were going to meet a mentor or meet somebody that may take you, to bowl sometimes? What did you think of it?
Well, as a 9-year-old, I had a lot of expectations, and mainly because I used to be jealous because my older brother had a big too, and I wanted one just like him, but I apparently got one that was even better.
I paid him for that one.
Right, the check's in the mail. But Gary, when you hear that really has to warm your heart, because as I understand it, this was something you wanted to do. You wanted to do this in your 30s, but then you stopped yourself and you waited a little while, and then you went back again.
Correct. I think that anything in life that's beautiful and important, the timing has to be perfect. And I guess I probably wasn't ready to do it in my 30s. And I wised up and I grew up a little bit more. And in my 40s is when I approached the organization again, because I was, quite frankly, I was probably just less selfish.
You do, your dad is in your life somewhat. What's your relationship with your birth father?
It's a little bit of a rocky relationship, but it's okay. Like, he doesn't come around as much, but I still try to call him. He still tries to call me as much as he's available.
And I know it's called Big Brothers, but do you think of Gary as a father figure?
Sometimes, yes, I really do, because he's just like a really good person to me.
Thanks, Taj.
When you say he's a good person to you, what do you mean? What has Gary done to demonstrate not only his, commitment to being part of this program, but his commitment and his love for you?
He has been there for me through my most hardest times because I also suffer from depression too. And he has helped me focus in school, and he's also helped me going to college as of right now. Like I just applied for it. He just helped me finish applying for my dorm, and I'm just all set to move in August.
That's so exciting. Where are you going?
Decorate it.
I'm going to College of Staten Island.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thomas,
Thank you.
their mascot is Danny the Dolphin. Danny the Dolphin.
Dolphins live in the waters around Staten Island?
See all the dolphins behind Ty J's head on his broom? He's fascinated with life.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, so this was meant to be. Now, I do not think that there are dolphins in those Staten Island waters, though.
Maybe after
No,
the
but
COVID,
there's definitely dolphins
so clean. Dolphins came back like the fake
There's
video.
definitely dolphins in New York.
Okay. I believe you. I will take your word for it, and I will come visit you on campus to find out. But you just turned 18 in March, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And one of the other struggles that I think you had to deal with was you came out. So how old were you when you started to realize that you were gay?
I think it was also around 9 when I started to realize that. But I didn't know the word for it. I just knew that I liked boys, kind of. But then at the same time, I also
I just kind of like them too.
But so did you know that Gary was gay? I mean, at what age did you figure out that Gary was gay?
I think when I was around 12, because then my mother also told me, because she started like figuring out that I like boys.
Mm-hmm.
And then she also had like a talk with me, and she was like telling me about, like giving me information about
the birds
the
and the
community.
bees talk. Yeah, the birds and the bees stuff.
Yes.
Did you feel that you
but
had
I was only 11.
Did you feel that you had a confidant or knew that you had, a support system basically at your fingertips when you would choose to enact it, and if you would bring, Gary into that circle of information, that you knew you had somebody that you could lay it on the line with?
Oh, definitely. I just like I said, at the same time, I didn't feel like comfortable, because at the same time I still didn't know what I like. So like at the age of 12 and 13, I would date both boys and girls to see what I liked.
Keeping your options open. Nothing wrong with that. But Gary,
and I try to teach him about keeping his options open and just staying single and focusing on school.
That's good advice. But Gary, how difficult was it for you, Gary, to have this kind of heart-to-heart talk with Ty J when he came to you with it? How difficult? How hard was that?
Well, I'm a little embarrassed, Thomas, to be honest with you, because I must have the world's worst gaydar, because I didn't even connect the dots with him on this. One of the social workers at Big Brothers, when we were all together in Central Park, put the little bug in my ear, have I ever thought this about Ty J? Mm-hmm. And I was like, wouldn't you think that as a gay man to a gay man, it would have been just like really natural that I just knew this about him? And that wasn't the case. It was on our, remember Ty J? We went to go see Fiddler on the Roof on Broadway at Christmas time. I tried to give him the Jewish knowledge as well, Thomas. And we came out, we went to Dos Caminos on Broadway. And I knew something was up that day. Because you were texting with someone and you were very distracted and not with me in the presence. Remember that, Ty J? We had to park the car in the expensive parking lot in Times Square and pay the big bill when we left. I was like, ugh. So he told me at Dos Caminos, and I was kind of a little shocked, but then I was kind of I was relieved that he told me that he told me this, and I felt honored. I felt honored going to Christmas that I had this information.
Well, I think, that shows how much he trusts you, how much he values your influence in his life. But did you feel an extra sense of responsibility, for guiding Ty because growing up how difficult those years are.
1,000%, Thomas. So that happened at Christmas time. Ty J and I do we call them outings when you get together and do something. That's what the organization calls it. And so I always try to do one big one at Christmas time. So we went to see Fiddler. That happened. But then I went to Atlanta to see my family and didn't show back up in New York until January. And I had all this information in my head. And he told me that he had not told his mother. And I was like, oh my God, what's my responsibility as a big brother possessing this information? So I called the Big Brothers organization and spoke to the social worker that they assign you to. And I said to them, listen, this is what happened in December. And now I possess this information and Ty J's own mother doesn't have it. What's my responsibility here? And they said to me, as long as Ty J is not endangering his health or doing anything illegal, you're not required to say anything to his mother.
Yeah.
His mother should teach every mother in the world how they should react to their son when their son tells their mother that they're gay. Because you know what he said? You know what she said to him? And she looked at Ty J and she said, who cares? She said, Ty J, do you not bleed like I bleed? Do you not laugh like I laugh? You're still the same Ty J to me. You are still the same Ty J. And I was bawling, crying, of course, because I'm a crier. And it was a beautiful moment. And then she cracked a joke and she goes, Ty J, she goes, it runs in our family. Your Uncle Tommy, your Uncle Bobby, your Uncle Harry, your Uncle Stu. She started naming all these uncles of his that are gay. And I started busting out laughing because his mom has the best sense of humor. But I'm going to tell you right now, the way his mother handled it is the way that every mother on the planet should look at their son and say to them, I love you, I love you, I love you. You have not changed.
Ty J, do you feel confident and happy in your own skin today, knowing that you have all this love and support, knowing that you're about to leave for some of the best years of your life at college, but that you have such a great launching pad. You don't have secrets and shame and stigma kind of swirling around internally. How does that feel?
I feel really good. Like I said, there are some times where things are a little rocky with my family, with certain situations, but at the same time, I feel great.
You look great.
Yes, you do.
Thank you.
And I'm just curious though. I mean, did you get Gary a Father's Day card? Do you do that?
I have done that twice, actually.
Okay.
I've even
I never received it in the mail.
You remember
I bought it. It's somewhere in your bedroom.
You remember the picture I drew a picture for him of the Pegasus. It was the big Pegasus, which was him, and then a little Pegasus, which was me, and I also said Happy Father's Day.
So now, do you know what you want to do when you get to college? Like what major you want to go after?
Well, I really wanted to do marine biology, but there was no colleges here in New York that I know of that specialize in that. So I'm going to college Staten Island for just general science and biology. And then from there, probably transfer to a college down in Florida for marine biology and zoology too.
Ty J has a really great team around him. It's not just the Big Brothers. He's got great guidance counselors at his school. He's got a great therapist. And of course, there's the really strong mom. And it's the general consensus that he go to a community college and get his associate's degree and then transfer. His number one goal to me when he was talking about college was what every person who probably lives in public housing wants to do is to get out. He wanted to get out of there. And community colleges don't typically have dorms. And guess what? Staten Island Community College has Dolphin Cove, and Ty J has been accepted to a dorm room over there, and he's going to get to move out and live with a roommate. And we're about to go through that pairing match. It's going to be way cool.
So now, Gary, you know, I know Ty J said that he's done cards in the past for Father's Day, but do you consider Ty J to be your son?
Well, I'm paying for the dorm. I guess so.
Even though I told him multiple times that that we even made a deal that I was gonna do most of it because I was supposed to get money from my school from the program that I'm in. And I told him yesterday that that part of our deal was my responsibility, so I was gonna get the money for it. And then he comes and texts me. He's like, "Well, you're gonna have to give it to me because I already paid for it." And I'm just like,
"No, Ty J, you say thank you, and you keep that money."
And that's probably secret.
You're gonna need that money. You know, you're gonna need that money. You do not want college debt. That's the worst thing. And Gary, I don't know if you got out of college and you were in debt, but I know I was, and it stuck. So I would just say thank you, Gary, and get him a Father's Day card real fast.
It's Sunday, Ty J. Father's Day.
You've got time. Mm-hmm. I want you to write it down on your little calendar, put it in your phone. You're going to make it happen. I really appreciate you guys taking time to share your story with me. It's something that inspires all of us as we hear it. And, you know, Gary, knowing that you were so willing to put yourself out there and take a risk, you know, and giving of yourself. And Ty J, for you, a little 9-year-old, you know, to so innocently go into something like this with big expectations. And I think you've had those expectations met.
And exceeded. The one thing I've said about volunteer work, Thomas, is the volunteer gets more back than the person they're volunteering for. And that's why I would love to see more men, particularly, step up to the plate. I also want the gay men that are watching this out there to let them know that Big Brothers is a very, very gay-friendly organization. I sit on a subcommittee called Big Pride. They want gay men to step up to the plate and to volunteer their time.
All right, guys, we're going to leave it there. Ty J, I really do wish you nothing but the best. I'm so excited for you about college. These are the best years of your life. But so there's something that I wanted to show you, and you're just going to have to bear with me because it has to deal with someone that we love around here, a great friend of the show, and his kids wanted to wish him a happy Father's Day.
This Sunday is Father's Day, and it's a very important holiday in this household because we have 2 dads. Not only they take care of us, but they take care of our 5 dogs.
They take us on amazing trips all over the world.
And when we're in the States, they take us to really nice restaurants so we can try new foods.
We're also very grateful for the little things they do,
like cooking,
and washing the dishes,
vacuuming,
and cleaning the house.
And at night, we watch movies and play Scrabble. And even though we're huge, they take us up and they carry us up to bed.
Thanks, Dads.
Happy Father's Day!
Aren't they the cutest? They are just the most adorable kids. That's Gavin and Vera. They are Vern and Craig's kids, and I'm Uncle Thomas. And I begged them to send me that video, so if I didn't get that video on, I was going to be in big trouble. And meanwhile, Carrie, Matson, Fury, it's great to have you here, but I don't know what that one thing is. You're going to have to tune into the YouTube episode to find out exactly what Gary was saying for that one thing. All right, so we've been having a poll on the website, on the Facebook website, trying to do a battle of the bands, so to speak, for your Pride anthem. Now, this week we had a really good competition between George Michael and his song Freedom and Madonna and Vogue. Which one do you think won out? Here you go. All right, so I thought George Michael really had a chance. So Earlier this week, it was Lady Gaga on Monday with Born This Way. Now, it's Madonna that gets to advance with Vogue. Next week, we're going to have a contest, a poll again, pitting two favorite Pride anthems against one another, and we will see which one comes out victorious. And this is my effort jumping back and forth between two cameras. I think this camera's better. But so there is an artist, Jody Aaron Friedman, who got 300, wait, no, we got 24 performers together, excuse me. But did a job for the song Lean On Me, and you know it's by Bill Withers. Withers died back in March. The song came out in 1972, and we all know it as a great classic. But anyway, Jody only used his voice and his guitar to have all these other performers accompany him. And then he mixed that all together to give us this great big chorus of everybody singing Lean On Me. Now, because my computer is possessed today, I'm going to have to find it. The only way I know how. Like that. You'll love it.
Sometimes in our life, we all have pain. We all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. It won't be too long if I have things you need to borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you won't let show. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on.
If feelings alone you have to bear, that you can't carry,
Right up the road, I'll share your load. If you just call me, call me, I'll be there. Call me, call me, call me. If you need a friend, call me. If you need a friend, call me. Heal the world, heal the world. Whatever you need. Heal the world. If you fall out there. Heal the world. Heal the world.
Wasn't that great? I mean, I think it was really, really well done. When you think about the fact that Jody just used his voice and the guitar and sent it to everybody, and the performers responded to that, and they came up with that. So you'll probably have Lean on Me as an earworm in your head. And I see Patrick showed up in the comment section. So I'm sure Carrie is very, very excited about that, because she almost walked out of this show because Patrick wasn't here. Yeah, like most people. Well, I appreciate your time. I really do. And I also appreciate the time of our guests this week with Gary and Ty J. Brian Silva earlier this week breaking down the SCOTUS ruling. And of course, on Wednesday, the one and only Kathy Griffin. We hope to have a jam-packed week for you next week. I'm not going to tell you because I don't like to, because I think it jinxes who's coming up if I actually tell you. So I'm not going to tell you. Or am I? Nah, I'm not. I'm not going to tell you. But we do have a great lineup for you next week. So I hope you can join us and have a great weekend. Have a great Father's Day weekend to all the dads out there. And just remember, if it's not happening to you, it doesn't mean that it's not happening. Take care, everybody.